centralized can't break up. Babylon system get mashed up. Cause you don't know said them corrupt. Black people time for wake up. Stand up for equal rights and justice. Love we are practice. Babylon not like this. We want the negative and more positive. We nah ease up on the battlefield. The dirty Babylon we nah need. We nah ease up on the battlefield. The dirty Babylon we nah need. We nah ease up on the battlefield. The dirty Babylon we nah need. My people pain I can't feel. One day the truth will reveal. And not the ancestors them pave the way. Liar to the revolution, better don't stray. Recruiting your hearing name down the lane. They want no over, so all you want play. You can't drop your button while you are run the relay. Teamwork alone can't win this your race. Take disgrace and shame out how we face. Hey, we nah ease up on the battlefield. The dirty Babylon we nah need. We nah ease up on the battlefield. The dirty Babylon we nah need. We nah ease up on the battlefield. The dirty Babylon we nah need. My people pain I can't feel. One day the truth will reveal. Africa sleeping, just soon wake up. The real warriors them need to rise up. We moving forward with every effort. The ancestors give we comfort. In the desert with these pervert. Them a lurk, them a vampire clerk. Them a go pay for every blood dropping at the earth. The gods and the goddess and them rule the earth. We now ease up on the battlefield. To dirty Babylon we now need. We now ease up on the battlefield. To dirty Babylon we now need. Unity of the power make we link up. Organize and centralize can break up. Babylon system get mashed up. You don't know said them corrupt. Black people time for wake up. Stand up for equal rights and justice. Love we are practice. Babylon not like this. We burn the negative and more positive. We nah ease up on the battlefield. To dirty Babylon we nah need. We nah ease up on the battlefield. To dirty Babylon we nah need. We nah ease up on the battlefield. To dirty
Greetings, blessed love, and a mighty royal welcome to my channel. This is I am Life and Light Productions, and Just Sparks, I am your host. Today, I want to reason about the oneness of mind. You see it? And the whole nature of mind and the oneness of humanity within the oneness of mind. You know? Because when you look at it, you realize that in the collective, where they say we are all connected, we are all one being, you know, you seek to find that oneness and where that connection actually meets. And the only place that that connection can truly meet is in the mind. Now, the mind that I'm speaking about, I am speaking about the space or the dimension called the mind. And not just the accumulated thoughts of someone and say that is the mind. No. I'm speaking of the mind from the point of view as being a place of inhabitants. You see it? So when you look at the mind from that perspective, as a place of inhabitants, because as I said, the ether of creation or the primordial waters of creation, where all things are created from invisibility to visibility, is the mind. You see it? So now, when you look at the mind now as a place of habitation, then when you close your eyes, you're in a different dimension. You're in a different habitation, a different world than from when your eyes is open. You see it? So now, in the habitation of the mind, you realize that there is where the I am dwells. Now, the I am is your awareness of self, your awareness of of your consciousness of being aware in creation, of existing, of knowing that I am this one here, I am that, I exist as this, whatever you identify yourself as. You see it? And in that abode, that I am is housed in the mind, which in we are that I am that is housed in the mind. And when you look at it from that perspective, you will realize that in the habitation of the mind, every I, meaning every intelligent consciousness in creation, exists in that habitation of the mind. So the oneness of the mind is that we are all connected in mind. Now that means a lot. That means that telecommunication now is possible and it's real. You see it by the power of the mind. You see it? So the people them now that are in your immediate creation or your immediate reality, meaning the people them that you meet and greet with and communicate with, those people have a direct link to your mind and you to their mind. You see it in the oneness of mind. As to everyone else, but as according to your preferred state of mind, which you desire to dwell in, meaning your concepts and your beliefs that you hold true to yourself, creates a reality for you where the individuals them that are in your reality plays out the different parts of your concepts and your beliefs, your fears, your weaknesses, your strengths. The people them that you meet and greet are there to play out those things for you, because it's all frequency. And as I say, it's all one mind. You see it? So, when we realize this year, we realize that the eyes them never had a time where you will just get a thought about your brethren or your sister in that, yo, let me get a thought about this man here. Let me give him a call or let me give her a call. And then when they give them a call, they say, oh, I was just meds in the eye, I was just thinking about the eye and look how the eye called me. It is because you received their thought. And when you receive their thought of they saying, boy, I made a like to reason with this man, man, hear from him in a while, you get that same thought because they're thinking about you. And you acted and you called at the same time that he was thinking it and realized as proof, you received the proof that telecommunication is real. But because we are not aware of how the mind works, we overlook it. And many times in our life, these things happen. You see it? So it works the same way, as with when someone need a strength or is in a situation where they need help. You will automatically get a thought saying that, yo, you get a urge, yo, me suggest go send a thing for this man here, Me know me ain't hear from him in a while and, I don't know if things good with him. Let me just send this for him. Many of us get those thoughts, but don't act on it. What I and I most do is call the person and start to question the person if they are right and these things, to which the person will say them bless. Because they ain't complaining to no one. You see it? Them a hold it. Because that's a thing in our culture, No make nobody know that we're going through anything or any pain or anything, Just hold it and show a smiling face, regardless of the situation, which is a good thing. You see? But if we are living in a world where our counterparts, which is our reflections, is not taking heed to our voice, which is the voice of our Father in heaven, to perform the will of our Father in heaven, then what is there? There will be lack and limitation. You see it? Because in the collective consciousness of mind, each one is hearing each one. And when the cry of someone comes to your mind, is for you to answer. But many of I and I doubt. If we would act just like how the one who get the thought and call the person, and then the person say, I was just thinking about you, we will receive. So when they act on that thought of, yo, send us strength, or yo, do this, or go check a man, just go pull up on him ends, you know what I'm saying? You will receive the proof that telecommunication, when one is thinking about one, they get the message. And this is the message that I'm coming with to the eyes them, that we must be more open in mind to those messages. Because in its sense, we are all each other's God, You see it? And I would like for the eyes them to overs what I mean. Though there is no God outside of self, in the collective of mind and the oneness of I, we are all each other's God. Because when you look at it, you see the beggar on the street. You see it? He's homeless. He ain't got no money to buy no food. He dirty. He smelling nasty. He ain't got no toilet to go and, relieve himself and these things. No bathroom to go and bathe every day. He don't have a change of clothes every day. So he's dirty. And he is in a state of lack, limitation, stressed out. You know what I'm saying? Frustrated, confused, denial. All kind of things is hitting him left, right, and center. And he is told to cry to God for help. So he go within himself and he cry to the Most High and he say, Father, Lord, God help me. I'm hungry. Give me something to eat. I'm thirsty. Give me something to drink. I'm naked. Clothe me. I am sick. Make me whole. You see it? And in the oneness of mind and the oneness of I am. Ones will pass on the road and be confronted with that man that made that cry to the Most High. And thoughts will come into their heads. Oh, give the man a 5 cents. Give him a 10 cents. Give him $1. And when the thoughts come in from the Most High, the mighty I am, that oneness of thought oneness of consciousness. Many of I start question and start say, oh, him should I do better. He could get up and work. Look at him. He healthy and strong. And not considering the situation that the man is in right now. You see it? It will take a lot for him to get up from there to reach to the next level, to the next state, where he can be able to pay for himself and take care of himself and get a work and do these things, He can't get a work in that state there, Because ain't nobody going to hire him, So when the voice of the Most High God that he called to comes into our mind, and we get the thought to give an helping hand. Help him. Oh, take him home. Let him get a bath. Buy him a new set of clothes. And believe me, it comes to the ones them that are able to do it. But they will deny the voice of the Most High within. They will deny the same God that they claim to worship. And they will not answer to the call of God calling them to help the poor and the needy. And they will sit down in their ignorance and their arrogance and say that, oh, they can help themselves, them put themselves in the situation. I will tell the eyes, my people, most of the people them that are in the situations that they're in, is not they that put themselves in willingly. But they end up there as things that they have to go through in their ascension, in their test in this world. Yes, right? Believe you me. Some of them that you see homeless didn't put themselves there. Some of them end up losing the job and can't get another job. Landlord kick them out. Them go into shelter and people are thief them thing. They end up out on the street. Weeks, days, weeks, months, years pass. That person out there on the street, no help, no one to call to. You see it, my people. So we must consider these things when we pass someone on the street. When we get the thought of a brother or a sister or a family member that's in need. Don't go and ask. You got the thought. The thought is real. So it's for you to act and just give. And then you will hear them confess and say, oh, well, they wanted this and they are, crying to the God and praying to God for help. And look, you come answer that prayer for them. God come move through you by you acting on the thought that you received. In the oneness of mind, in the oneness of unity, in the oneness of the collective of I am. For we are all one and we are all connected in thought. Because if a man now, knowing that in the beginning was thought and all things come from thought, and knowing that he can change his situation, change his reality just by the way he thinks, but just by changing his concepts and his beliefs, and then assuming the truth of that change and living it will bring a whole new reality and experience to him. Now, if he can do that, he will realize that the characters them that were once in his life will change. And he will be amongst a different set of characters, some of whom he knew from before that he never interacted with because he was not vibrating on their vibration, their consciousness, their level where they're at. But once he starts vibrating there, he will start to interact with those that are vibrating there. And this is how creation works. And that's why I always say to the eyes them that we don't need to fight anymore. There is no more a fight in the sense of we are struggling to get out of bondage anymore. Just a thought takes us out of bondage today. You see it? And this is what I don't get with most of the Rastafari community, because they have embedded themselves back into a system that has enslaved them and has them enslaved until now. And they are putting their trust more and more in that system without realizing that life can go on for I and I outside of their system. And with faith and courage in this good cause, we will beat Goliath.
Daddy,
Hmm?
no cookie.
Yeah, go and have one. Let Ohima give it to you. Continually and continually. Because we are the sons of the great David. So we are the greater sons who has become the great David. And our youth supposed to be the greater sons. It has seemed that in our generation coming, that we haven't become greater sons than the great David. But we have idealized the great David and has become weaker and lesser sons of the great David. Because we want to keep great David great. And not realizing that, yeah, we can keep great David great, but we have to become the greater sons of great David. You see it? We have to. It is in our evolution, in our becoming. We have learned all that our ancestors, our forefathers have given to us. We learn it all. They're good and they're wrong. And we have accumulated of ourselves knowledge of our own that is added to all that came before us. How are we moving forward? And this is a question for the eyes them to look within the eye themselves, and not a question of blame to point finger. But to each eye, look within yourself and see how you can make this experience better for the children, the generation coming behind you. How can you move forward in such a way that you lay the foundation so that your children can stand upon? And this is what we're talking about: economic development, self-sufficiency, creating our own. Because we come in here to Africa not just to build up Africa, but to build in Africa. Because we don't want to come like the white man and the Indian man and the Chinese man, Because they will come and they will build in Africa so that they can take. Because they build in what Africa don't have so that they can take what they don't have. And what they don't have is the minerals. What Africa don't have is infrastructures and factories and industries and stuff like that. But they ain't building the factories and the industries. They're just building infrastructure. They're cutting down trees, cutting down nature, and building highways and roads and all these things. They're building communities where they can rent out communities and these things. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is we need to make a change, because they are destroying nature by cutting down all those trees. We don't have to cut down all those trees. We can build in between the trees and save the ecosystem. Yes, right. There's no fitting in there. We'll get the one that fit. Yeah. And from the ecosystem save, life is going to be great. Because, we get in the fresh air. You know what I'm saying? Nature healing itself. You know what I'm saying? We ain't getting no set of storms and all these things. You see? because we're not destroying the ecosystem. Yes, right? And these are the things them that we really got to look into. We come into building here. We're not coming to do as the white man and them do. Yes, right? And we building in the land so that we not leaving the resources here. Yes, right? We're not going to leave with wealth. Or we are going to leave with wealth? We feel be right side of we wealth. So if we come in here and build in here and be right side of the wealth that is in here. Yes, right? So this is the mindset that the eyes them should have and should be holding. The unity of the oneness of mind. That intelligible consciousness that dwells in each and every eye. Within the mind's space. That habitation. Yes, right? And if we would be more in tune and loving and caring and sharing and forgiving with each other, we will start to hear each other's cries for help, cries, of happiness and joys and cries of blessings that one will give to one too. Because if a man sit here and bless the next one, you sight, that person will feel that blessing. They will feel that joy. They will feel that strength. So we got to over these things and start to live truly as how we're supposed to live. You sight, in the oneness of the mind. All right, go and play with them. Where we are ever conscious of each other, always putting ourselves in each other's shoes. You know what I'm saying? Considering each other's states of mind that we're in. You know what I'm saying? Taking account for everything that concerns who we are in commune with. You see it? Who we are expressing in life with. You see it? Because in the oneness, we realize in the oneness of self, You know what I'm saying? It's a unity, That's why we go into the mind, to share the mind space, to show the unity. Because when you go into the flesh, it becomes an individualness. You know what I say? Each flesh, individual. You see it? So we got to remain in the spirit, in the mind, where we can remain united, connected. You see it? Kind of flesh now. Each one, I feel a different little pain. So each one feel like the different in some sense or the other. You see it? And that is the separation. That is the division of I and I in creation, why we don't love each other no more. Because I and I, mine has gone into the flesh. And the flesh has its own mind, The flesh have its own mind. You see it? So we have to learn to conquer the flesh mind. That's why fasting is very important. Because fasting disciplines one mind to have control over his body. That when your body tell you, oh, it's time to eat, I'm hungry now, I'm hungry. Your mind, you will come and say, no, it is not time. You're fasting. So you wouldn't eat until such time. And you will realize that your body will obey you. And as long as you focus your thoughts and don't study food all the time, you will not have the urge to eat at no time. You see? And this is what they talk about when they speak that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. For the mouth of God cometh from your mouth. You are the mouth of God. So every word that you speak, you must be able to live by it. You see? That's why it say, let the weak man say, I am strong. For he should be able to live by that word, I am strong, and become that which he say to himself, invoke that feeling upon himself. I am strong, I am not weak. I am strong, I am healthy. I am not sick. You know what I'm saying? I'm wealthy. I'm not poor. And invoke that feeling of wealth upon himself. And when you can invoke that feeling, meaning you have a perfect concept of what it is to be wealthy, what it is to feel wealthy. And then when you can invoke that upon yourself, you will change your very reality, because now you will be acting in the way of being wealthy, of a wealthy person, of being rich. So now you will think in that way. So now you will start attract people and things them that are in that world, in that state of mind of the wealthy man. You see it, my people? So this is our salvation, our redemption, our liberation by the renewing of our mind. This is what will take us there. No outer fight and force and rebellion is going to get us there. The only way we will get there is in the mind. By changing the mind, we will separate. The wicked will go one side. The tares will go one side. And the wheat will go one side. Birds of the same feather flock together. You see it? So the wicked will flock with the wicked, the righteous will flock with the righteous, the poor will flock with the poor, the rich will flock with the rich. That's how it go in creation. That's just how it is. That's the law. And as long as we learn the law and abide, then things will work right. But if we don't know the law, and we just following all the teachings that Babylon gave us, then we remain in illusion. You see it, my people? If we are now to go back into the system and depend on Babylon's system to survive, what will become of our children? What? We have to really put these things them before us. Do we really care about our children and their children and their children's children, like how we say we cared about our ancestors them that was in slavery? Many of I and I say we care about our ancestors that is in slavery and is not making a change today to better improve the quality of living for our children coming after us, so that they can live a more qualified life, a more abundant life. You see it? A more rich life. Because if we were holding 1,000 in we bank, we children should come and hold 100,000 in the bank. And if them holding 100,000 in the bank, their children should come and hold 1,000,000 in the bank. It's just evolution. It's just progress and gain. You know what I'm saying? It's just natural. But if we now are hold 100,000 in the bank, and then our children now are going to end up with 10,000. No, that ain't progress. You see it? Or if our foreparents them now had 1,000,000 and now we have 1,000. That's not progress. So we got to rise this thing up. Rise up the level of thinking. You know what I'm saying? The 9 to 5 is not going to get us nowhere. It's not going to give us any dream whatsoever, whether it be the American dream, the European dream, or the African dream. The 9 to 5 is not going to get us there. We have to think out of the box. We have to get into creating businesses. Get into economical development. You see it? Africa is a great place to start. You see, because there is a place where we can build factories. Build factories, and then we have a workforce here that can man the factories. Just like how the white man do all over the blinking place and the Indian and the Chinese man. Why can't we come here and do that instead of coming and take and rob and steal like how the white man come and rob and steal? You see it, my people? Come and elevate the people and elevate oneself the same time. You see it? So that the African man and the African woman can once again be in power of self. You see it? Just like the white man them proving to be in power of themselves. And Indian man proving to be in power of himself, and the Chinese man proving to be in power of themselves, why they can battle each other to see who is the strongest one. What happened to the black man? What happened to the African man? Why we are not in that fight? We gotta come join one of them? How I go on? You know what I say? When they say we must honor our father and our mother, we must honor them by becoming better than them, by doing more than what they did, showing the progress that they gave for us to be able to stand upon. Look at our forefathers, Malcolm X, Martin Luther, Marcus Garvey, and all others them. Not turn on the world of them. I don't know all of their names, that's why I'm not saying it. But the whole of them, they still exist, though I don't know their names. But look at the whole of them and the foundation they have laid for us to live a more free life today. What are we doing for our children for tomorrow? That is why I am here, building this repatriation center so we can start bringing ones them here in Africa so we can do the right thing and start to build in Africa. Yes, right. And create generational wealth out of Africa. You see it, my people. And don't just watch the rest of the world run away with the world. The rest of nations run with the world and give you the talk that, oh, we too late. We can't get no slice. You know what I'm saying? What kind of bogus talk that? And them a come to we and I take slice, I take them slice, and I tell we say, we no deserve or we no have no slice. A madness that. You know, see it, my people. So, in the oneness of mind, we must learn to hear our brethren and sisters cry when they're in need. You know what I'm saying? When they're looking at strength. When they need someone to come visit them. Each and every one of I get those thoughts and lay them to rest within. Yes, I laying to rest the word of the Most High that came to them. Yes, I, because each eye is one eye. So it's self to self, Self to self. And when we can realize this, the power that we will possess within the mind space. Hey, it's unbelievable. I can see it. We will be untouchable. Yes, right? Untouchable. So, take thought to the ones them that are in your experience with you, in your reality. The same ones them that you called to share your reality with you by the very thoughts them that you're having, by the very convictions, the very concepts, the very beliefs, the very fears, the very anger and hatred that you have in you is what is expressed into the world to come to you and express themselves to you. So you are calling them to you as they're calling you to them. We all calling each other to each other. And we only dwelling in the circle of which we call. Yes, I. So within the circle of which we call, learn to love one another truly. Yes, I. Learn to love one another truly. Learn to be compassionate to one another truly. To forgive one another truly. For we are connected. It is one consciousness of being that we all are. And if we will take time to go within, we will realize this connection and the beauty of it. You see it? So when you hear the voice to do good, don't try and doubt it, or don't hesitate to do the good that come in you to do. Do it. And you will see, you will receive the proof of the truth. Yes, right? And you will understand the workings of the mind and the power that I and I possess within I and I. You see it, I and I. So yeah, that's the message that I have for the eyes them this day, you know. I give yes, baby. No, not right now. You know? So I give thanks to the eyes them joining in as always. You know what I'm saying? In the unity of mind and the oneness of I am. I am. Do give thanks for each and every I that is in I, reality with I. That's why I am sharing these teachings that have come to I in secret. Yeah, within my mind. This is the reasonings that take place in my mind. And this is what I choose to come and share with the eyes them. Call this here platform the house top, where I am shouting that which I hear within. For I believe in the power that dwelleth within I, which I am, that I am. Yeah, it is I. And I believe it so much that I am receiving the messages and the information to know that it is true. Yes, right. Being able to come with things that you don't hear anyone else speaking. Yes, right. And that is another thing. This is how the mighty I am is going to arise within the eyes them. He's going to give the eyes them speeches that you don't hear out there. And it is up to you to believe within yourself to say them. Because you will go against the grade once you say it. Besides, and many I and I, when we get those speeches, we suppress it. Because we feel say within ourselves a wrong thing. No. You have to speak it. Shout it out loud and clear. Besides, so that they which are out there may see your light shining and glorify the Father that is in you, which is I am my Father, I am my Son, or I am His Son. I am the Holy Spirit of truth. You see it? I am my Father, I am His Son, I am the Holy Spirit of truth. You see it? And that is the union of the Trinity within man. You see it? Yeah. So until such time, lovely people, royal people, my royal reflections, for all of you that are in my reality with I am I, and I am every one of the I. So we are united in mind and in soul. Though we might not be united in flesh, I am here in Ghana, you are over there, wherever you may be. But we are one in the mind space, where all things dwell, where is the real reality, where life exists in the eternal now. You see it? Where time and space don't exist in the mind. You see it? So once we realize this, and we realize now that that mind space that we say is the mind, which is the ether of creation of which all things come from. All things invisible becomes visible, which is heaven. You see it? So now we realize that we have access to heaven, the kingdom of heaven. And all the riches that is in the kingdom of heaven, which is God's riches, which is my riches. I have access to it. And how do I get access to it? By the power of my Son, or His Son, my Son. I am my Son, which is the human imagination, the faculty to create mental images, mental picture images. If you can create the mental picture image of the car in the kingdom of heaven, and believing that you have received it, by adding all the outer sensory effects to it, meaning by you sitting in that car in your mind and feeling the seats and feeling the steering wheel and driving and feeling the breeze blowing in your hair, you're putting everything to it within, in the spirit world, where everything begins. And then believing that you have received it of yourself, which is your Father. And then coming out into reality, out of your vision. You know what I'm saying? Out of the abode of the mind space. And then walking in the way of that already fulfilled. And you having this car and you're going these places and you have enveloped the feeling of that, which is the language of the universe, the feeling. You shall bring that said thing to you through the power of thought. And this is what is going on with creation. This is what goes on. Whatever you desired in your life started like that. You saw it? And you received it. Though you might think that it didn't happen that way, it did. By you first having the thought and saying that you are able to get it, opened and paved the way for you to get it. Cause opportunities to come to you, come in your way for you to receive it. But if you then believe within yourself that you can get that, and basically you have it already, yeah, go for it, you ain't gonna get it. This is the power of the mind that we all possess. And by proper discipline, we can receive heaven and earth. So until such time, my people, Africa for the Africans, those at home and those abroad. Repatriation is a real reality. Repatriation is a must. Don't neglect a continent for an island or another man's land. It's right? Seek your own continent and build upon it. Like our ancestors have instructed us in the right way to do. You see it? Let's follow in the way and build upon their foundation, that our foundation may be strong and yet stronger, so that our generation coming after us, which is our children, will build upon that foundation even a greater foundation and strengthen it even more, so that the future generations, them to come, shall live a life of peace and tranquility, starting in the eternal now, today. Yeah. Let us learn to hear the voice of God and attend to it. That's why it's saying now, when they ask Christ, when have we not given to thee? And he say, if you haven't given to the least, you haven't given to me. If you not give to the man out there who are beg on the street, to the least one you not give. You not give to Christ, you not give to God. Because at the moment of you giving to that one, you became the act of God to him. That now he can turn into himself and thank God that he prayed to get a meal and just was given something in the way of that meal. So it's helping him even to hold faith that sit on the side of the road. You see it, my people. So let us live in consideration of life itself, one to the other. Decide in the unity of the mind space and one with the brain, that we may live in loyalty one to another, that we may rise to heights supreme. You see it? enormous heights that the other nations will just have to look at us and just marvel and just say, great. Call it for what it is. Greatness. Great, we great. Yes, right. And we not beat. We not follow no man's system. No more. We are create we own a system now. Yeah. And as Marcus teach we, the mind creates. Let us put our mind to use and create our own system of living. And really be man and woman. Free man and free woman by creating our own system and living in it. And not following after our next man's system and then talking about we free. And we can't do more than what they say to do in their system. And if we try to do otherwise, hospital, cemetery, or jail. More love and blessings, royal eyes, until such time it is I, Just Sparks, I am your host, sending much love and blessings to each and every eye, to every royal family out there. Yeah. Peace, health, strength, prosperity, love, joy, and happiness. You see it for surety. And until we meet again, holy I am, I am.